Hello everyone, I've got the June Tag of the Month kit from Laurie Padilla of Piles of Paragraphs to share with you today. As always, it's come in this little bag here with a note from Laurie. Now Laurie is doing a collaboration this month, so we've got something a little bit different. She's teamed up with, let me just get the little sheet. This is the information sheet that Laurie always includes with the tag kit, and she's teamed up with a lady called Mary from KM Handicrafts on Etsy. If I hold that up, I hope that you can see that. I'll leave the link to Mary's Etsy shop and Laurie's in the description box below. Now, for those of you that are visiting me for the first time, Laurie sells a monthly tag kit in her shop on Etsy. So let's have a look and see what's included in this month's kit. Let's start from the back. We've got, as always, the tag base and then various papers. So let me just show you what these are. Some are single-sided, some are double-sided. I like this colour scheme a lot. That's beautiful. That's a really thin piece of origami paper. We've got this piece of paper here. Oh, I like that side. And this gorgeous metallic paper as well. Don't those coordinate beautifully? Love those. And then we've got this one, which is also double-sided. I personally like that side there. We have then got the things that Mary has included in the kit. This little fabric, a plique here with kind, a little heart on the top and a bee. So be kind, something like that. Isn't that just really sweet? I must go and check out Mary's shop. Then we've got some fabric pieces as well. This lovely natural coloured piece of lace here, another piece of natural coloured lace and a piece of ribbon, tie-dyed style ribbon. So let's have a look and see what we can do with this. Now I must admit I love all of the elements in this month's kit. Let's have a look and see what we can come up with. Is that the same on both sides? I think it is. So let's see if we can come up with some kind of a design. You see, that goes really nicely. What have we got here? I love that polka dot. That's beautiful. Maybe we could slide that under there like that. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm not sure that one's going to work. We could have the be kind on there. Now, how would I like that to go? Perhaps there. That's pretty. And then what, in fact, actually, let me just move that out of the way. Perhaps we could have a piece of lace. Oh my goodness me, just trying to keep these still whilst I make up my mind what I want to do. Perhaps we could have that there like that. Be kind. No, that's not working. Don't like how I've got that positioned. Oh dear me, fingers and thumbs. It's sliding around all over the place, and I don't like to glue things down until I've had a play and worked out where I roughly want things to go, because I have a tendency to change my mind, as you all know. Be kind. So yeah, I quite like that. I'm just going to whiz off and take a photograph of this. Now, what does it look like if we have things the other way around? So we have the gold, perhaps at the top, and how about if we have this at the bottom? Let's just pop that there like that. We could maybe have this one here. But I think I'll have that under there. I absolutely love this design here. What a beautiful piece of tissue paper. That's really, really pretty. And then what else have we got? We've got this. In fact, actually, I've got an idea. How about if we have this? And I would trim these down if I decide to go with this particular layout. That's looking good. Have that maybe across there like that. And then perhaps we could have, in fact, we could have the the lace again. I'm struggling to find a place for this one for the moment. And again, be kind. Yep, you see, I like that. I think that needs to go a bit lower down, and then I'd have my trim at the top. I'm going to take a photograph of that layout as well. Now, how about if we try the grey? Does that work? So again, keeping that same design at the bottom, you see that looks really nice. I do quite like having the neutral bit at the top. That works well for me. Can we do anything with this lace with the neutral background? And then the be kind. Oh, you see, I like that as well. Decision made. I'm going to start off by gluing this combination down, I think, at the bottom. I don't need all of this. I'm just going to cut that piece there off in case I want to use that for something else. And I don't need all of this either, so I can trim some of this off here as well. Let me just have a look. How much can I trim? I'm just going to make a pencil mark. Whoops, everything's flying all over the place. And I'm just going to take that off to the paper trimmer and just trim that excess bit off as well. There we go. That just leaves me with an extra bit if I need it. I'm just going to use my glue stick, and the way I'm going to do it is just glue the elements down first. So apply the glue to these individual parts. Oh, I've creased it. Whoops. And I always focus on applying plenty of glue around the edges, as you know I do. We can wipe that excess off in a second. So that's going to go to the bottom right. I just need a baby wipe. And next of all, we'll glue this one down here like this, about there, I think. Let's just get a bone folder. There we are. Just make sure I've got that straight, or it will bug me. And then I'm just going to glue this piece on here like this. I think that one could do with going over just a tad. And of course, with glue stick, we've got just a little bit of wiggle room. Which way up do I want this to go? I think that way up. Now, I've also discovered this design on the back as well. I really do like that. Does that look too busy with the patterns? Do I prefer the grey? Or do I prefer this one here? I think I prefer this one here. Now, which way round do I like it? I think I like it this way up. Now, we've got a bit of glue or something on the end here. So we've got a bit of wiggle room. So I'm just going to glue that down close to the edge here so that I can hopefully chop that bit off. So I'm going to glue that one down next. And I'm just using various recycled bits of deli paper. Parchment paper would do the same, just to catch the excess glue. It just saves getting your table in a mess. And, you know, in any given project, I'll probably end up using about 4 or 5 different pieces of parchment paper because, of course, you need to move each piece around. Otherwise, you just get glue stuck to the top of your piece, which you don't want. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got that lined up at the edge, just like that, and glue that down as well. And I'm just going to trim that slight overhang there on the edge. I think I've got a plan for the rest of it. I'm going to have that there like that. I am going to glue my little piece of trim down here. And then I'm going to have these on here. And I think, where do I want this? Perhaps about there. And then my little bee. And I think that's a really nice little composition. So all I've got then to worry about is doing something with the top. So again, just glue stick on the back, and I'm going to pop that down there. I'm trying to line this up with the top just so that everything is symmetrical, just because I like things that way. Again, use my bone folder just to make sure that that's glued down, and then I can trim the edges. I'm just going to use some 3-in-1 just to glue this trim down. Now, which is the front and which is the back? I can never ever tell. I think that's the back. Right, let's have it that way up. And what I'm going to do is just apply a small amount of 3-in-1. And these fine nose bottles are just absolutely brilliant. They make life so much easier when you're doing fine detailed work like this. You don't want too much because 3-in-1 has a tendency to bleed through fabric. So I'm just going to pop that on like that. And then I'm just going to weight that down underneath a heavy book with a piece of deli paper or parchment paper on top so that the pages don't stick, just until that glue grabs. It really doesn't take long for that glue to stick. I'm just going to cut off. In fact, actually, let me just take this off with my paper scissors first. I've missed a bit on the edge. And then I'm going to take that off with my fabric scissors. Some of it's come off already. Just get rid of that excess on the edge, like that. There we go. That looks good. And then finally, we've just got this to glue down. Where's the other bit? And again, I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac. I'll do that first. I'm just going to apply the Fabri-Tac just inside this bit here so that it doesn't bleed through to the fabric. I don't mind if we've got a bit of dimension and these bits around the edges aren't rigidly stuck. So I'm just going to use that sewing line there just to pop my glue. There we go, that should be enough. And let's just stick that down there like that. Just make sure that I've got that fairly symmetrical. I don't think I want to ink around the edges. I do want to ink around the edges of this, and I'm going to do that first just in case I end up getting ink on my fingers and I don't want it to transfer to this here. So let's just do that first, not too much. In fact, I probably should have done it before I added this lace, but I didn't think about it, so too late now. In fact, if we just lift that up, there we go. And that will cover any of the cream that we've got on the edges. It's only a touch, but I think it just adds just a little bit of something, and it will cover just that mark that I've got on this paper. I like that. That is a wonderful coordination. I just love how those pieces of paper work together. Beautiful. And so now I can glue this down as well. So how did I want that to go? Let me just check my placement. What have I done with my B? And where do I want my B to go as well? And again, I'm just going to use Fabri-Tac to glue these down. I don't think glue stick would be quite strong enough because we've got quite heavy elements going on now. So I think 3-in-1 is a better choice. But, you know, at the end of the day, just use whatever glue you have. I think it's always useful to have a strong glue in your arsenal. So here we are, plenty of glue on there. Let's pop that down. I'm not bothering to ink around this. I think it would be too much. So let me just make sure that I get that in the center. I like how that looks. And glue down my little bee. Isn't this just a really cute little embellishment? As I say, I shall have to go and check out Mary's Etsy store and see what she's got. Always nice to support local artists if we can. The problem we have here in the UK is that postage is just so ridiculous, and because of COVID takes forever as well. I think I'm quite happy with that. What do you think? Isn't that cute? Now you will know that I like to mount mine onto a background piece of cardstock, usually craft, but not always. It depends on the project. What I'm thinking is that I can maybe use this at the top somehow, but at the moment it's just a bit too flimsy. I'm just going to glue this down to a piece of scratch card. Let's bring back my deli paper, and I'm just going to glue this straight on. And what I want to do is see if any of my circle punches are the right size, just so that I can cut out a circle. I'm not sure whether I've got one the right size for this, but you know, we can give it give it a go. Otherwise it will have to be plan B, and I haven't decided what plan B is yet. Now, none of my circle punches are the right size. They're either far too big or way too small. I found this bottle lid which is the perfect size, and I've got a white charcoal pencil here, and all I'm going to do is draw around it and cut it out freehand. So improvisation, and there we go. And now I can see where that line is. I think I'll use these ones. It might be easier with a larger pair of scissors. So I'm just going to cut around that line that I've drawn and hope that I am fairly accurate. I hate doing this, just in case I end up with it being all wonky. Just take your time. Do it slowly. Here we are. Nearly done. Oh, hold your nerve, Nina, hold your nerve. Don't rush the last bit. Oop. Gone a bit off there. What I can do is grab an emery board and just file that around rather than cut it until I've got it the right shape. That's much easier. Yeah, there we go. That is not too bad. Now that is good enough for me. Not perfect, but good enough. I'm just going to use some of my Distress ink in Gathered Twigs, and the reason I'm using a darker colour is that I don't know whether you can see, I can still see some of these circles from around the edge, and this will just help to disguise those and just hopefully hide any imperfections as well, because of course I've done this freehand. It is not perfect, but it's good enough, and that looks much better. Let me just add a little bit more. Where did I see it? There, like that. And was it here? There we go. That will do. Don't be too pernickety, Nina. And then I want to fold this in half. Try and get that central like that, and my thinking is that I can have that as just a little tab topper. Now, do I want it to go there or there? Let me just have a play around with this. So after pondering on this for goodness knows how long, for me it's always the finishing touches that seem to take the most time, just deciding how you're going to finish something off nicely. I'm just applying 3-in-1 to this circle here, and I'm just going to pop that down about there. There we go. Just make sure that I've got it central, and I want that slightly raised, as you can see, which will allow a bit of room as well for my bee. I like that. I like how that looks. So I'm just going to hold that there for a second or two, just for that glue to grab. I've also, I don't know whether you can remember the square that came off the end here. I am thinking that I can maybe add that there like that. Now, is it big enough? I think it is just about. So again, I'm just going to, in fact, I'll link around the edges of this first as well. Nearly forgot to do that. There we go. And then I'm just going to add that to the top. And then we're pulling in all of those repeat elements as well, which I always think looks really nice. Now, let me just make sure that I get this all central. I think that's going to have to go down a bit further. In fact, I could always trim some off the bottom of this craft tag if needs be. I think that needs to go over a bit more to the right. There we go, about there, like that. And so now we can layer that on just like so. It still needs to go over just a tad. Let's have a look. Bit more to the left. Oh dear me, you see how pernickety I am. It is just ridiculous. I wish I wasn't so, but you know, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. I think that's fine. That's perfect. I'm just going to glue this down to the back. I'll use my bigger nozzle this time. So plenty of glue there just to hold that down. There we are. And pop that on. That looks about right. There we go. And then I've got my crocodile. Let me just put the lid back on my glue. This dries out really quickly, so always pop your lid back on. I've got my crocodile. I'm just going to punch a hole here. Let's get the centre. Yeah, about there. Let's go for it. And then I've got a little brass eyelet. That's probably a bit high to the top, but that's okay. There we go. It's good enough. And I'm just going to punch this down as well. Let's just make sure that I've been having a problem with my crocodile, and I found that one of these was just out of sync, which was why it wasn't punching properly. Keep your fingers crossed. There we go. That's fine. I think it needs squeezing down just a tad more. There we go, that's good. Oh, a nice punch for a change, that's good. And then what did I do with that that thread? Oh, here it is. So I'm wondering, can I do anything with the rest of these? I think that one might be just a little bit thick to go through. We can try it. In fact, what I'll do, let me just grab my little threading needle just so that I can get this in the centre. This might not work because this lace might be a little bit too thick. Oh, no, here we go. It might be a bit too short though to tie in a knot. No, I don't think that's going to work. I think what I'm going to have to do is pop this through like this. I'm just experimenting here. I might not use this and then tie it there, or perhaps what I could do is tie this with some of this. Would that work? That might be the way to go. Yeah, I think that's going to work, isn't it? And perhaps I can tie this in a little bow. This is fiddly. Oh my gosh, I'm not very good at tying bows. I've had a play around with my bow and I'm happy with that now. I don't know whether you can see. I really enjoyed putting that kit together. What a lovely combination of papers, and I think this focal image just works an absolute treat. What a strong focal image this month as well. Absolutely love that. And the only pieces I've got left is this, which I cut off this piece here, and the piece of grey, which, as I showed you earlier, would easily have worked, you know, as a different combination in the background. So I will leave links to Laurie's Etsy store in the description box below. She is Piles of Paragraphs on Etsy. I'll also leave the link to Mary's shop. She is KM Handicrafts again on Etsy. So you'll find the links to those in the description box below. But, you know, for those of you, and I know many of you are following along with this Tag of the Month kit, I hope that's given you some ideas again this month. And if you enjoyed today's video, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. As I always say, it really does let YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, but most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.